What you're about to hear is the truth no man is ever prepared for. Because every guy thinks he knows how to make a woman want him, until he meets the one who makes him feel powerless. It starts the same every time. You meet a woman who hits you like adrenaline. Her smile lights you up. Her energy pulls you in. For a moment, everything feels effortless, like desire should finally work in your favor. But then reality slaps you in the face. She likes you. She enjoys you. She laughs at your jokes. But she doesn't crave you. Not the way you crave her. She talks to you like you're safe. She looks at you like you're familiar. But she never once looks at you the way she looks at the man she can't resist. And that's the part that destroys you. Because you've been here before, over and over and over. Different women. Same ending. You show your best self. You give effort. You stay respectful. You wait for her desire to grow naturally, and it never does. Meanwhile, some other guy, a man who barely tries, a man who doesn't treat her half as well as you, is the one who gets the version of her you've been dreaming about. Her obsession, her hunger, her fire. That's when the real question eats you alive. Why do the men who want her the least get her the most? Why do women chase the men who confuse them, ignore the men who adore them, and save their obsession for the ones who don't even play by the rules? Here's the truth you were never told. The truth that will change everything from this moment forward. Women don't obsess over men who make them feel safe. They obsess over men who make them feel alive. And those are two very different energies. Safety is predictable, comfortable, steady. It's the warmth of a soft blanket. But obsession? Obsession comes from unpredictability, tension, mystery, challenge, intensity. It's the spark you feel right before lightning hits the ground. And here's the painful part. Most men try to build obsession with the energy of a blanket. Soft, supportive, always there. When what actually triggers female desire is the energy of a storm. A storm doesn't beg. A storm doesn't chase. A storm doesn't ask permission to exist. A storm appears, moves with power, and forces everything around it to react. That's what women obsess over. The man who moves like he knows who he is. The man whose presence speaks louder than his words. The man whose energy touches her mind before he ever touches her body. Because women don't fall for what you say. They fall for what they feel in your presence. And right now, if she doesn't feel that electric tension around you, it's not because you're not attractive enough, not masculine enough, not interesting enough. It's because you were taught the wrong formula. You were told to be safe, predictable, available, emotionally open, non-threatening. And while those traits make her trust you, they do not make her fantasize about you. Not even close. What you're about to discover is the hidden, psychological switch that turns a woman from, "He's a great guy," into, "I need him. I want him. I can't stop thinking about him." And once you learn it, you'll never go back to the version of yourself who begged for attention or waited for chemistry to magically appear. Because obsession isn't magic. It's a pattern, a structure, a specific energy a man carries that flips something primal inside her. And if you're ready for the truth, if you're ready to stop being the man she respects but never desires, if you're ready to understand what actually makes a woman's body react before her mind even catches up, then what comes next will shake everything you thought you knew about attraction. What you're about to hear cuts deeper than anything you've heard before. Because this is the part men refuse to face. This is where everything finally starts to make sense. A woman doesn't become obsessed with you because of how well you treat her. She becomes obsessed because of how you make her feel when she's unsure about you. Not unsafe. Not disrespected. Not threatened. Unsure. That razor-thin line between. He wants me, but he doesn't need me. That tension is the fire she can't resist. See, here's the brutal truth. A woman does not obsess over the man who worships her. She obsesses over the man she can't fully predict. The man whose silence pulls her attention harder than another guy's affection. The man whose confidence makes her nervous in the best way. The man whose energy feels like a puzzle she needs to figure out. And this is where everything shifts. Because obsession isn't about looks, money, or status. It's about psychology. It's about the emotional voltage you create inside her. It's about the storm you awaken in her mind long before anything physical happens. And here's the secret no one ever teaches men. Female desire is built in layers. And most men never unlock even the first one. Let me break it down for you. White heavy checkmark layer 1. Your presence hits her first. Before you speak. Before you flirt. Before you touch. Your presence already told her who you are. Women read men like weather. She knows instantly whether you bring warmth or whether you bring lightning. A man who stands tall, moves slow, and carries quiet confidence triggers curiosity. A man who fidgets, rushes, or tries to impress kills it instantly. Presence isn't about being loud. It's about being unshakable. When a woman feels your calm dominance before she hears your words, her mind starts working against her. She imagines things she won't even admit out loud. That's the beginning of obsession. White heavy checkmark layer 2. Your eyes say what your mouth never should. Here's what almost no guy understands. Eye contact is foreplay. Silent. Direct. Look at her just 1 second longer than safe. Let it hit her. Then look away like nothing happened. You didn't touch her. You didn't flirt. You didn't say anything sexual. But you just sent a signal into her nervous system so powerful that she'll think about it the entire night. Men underestimate the eyes. Women never do. The right look can pull her closer than any pickup line ever could. White heavy checkmark layer 3. Your words don't chase, they challenge. Women don't obsess over compliments. They obsess over contrast. One moment you're warm. The next you're calm and unreadable. You tease her mind. You don't reveal your entire personality in one night. You don't prove anything. You don't overshare. You don't brag. You speak like a man who knows he could walk away at any moment and be fine. And that's exactly why she feels pulled toward you. Because confidence without attachment is the rarest thing a man can show. White heavy checkmark layer 4. You create tension and let it breathe. Most men fail here. They don't build tension. Or they destroy it by rushing. But the men women crave? They understand the dance. You get close, but not close enough. You touch her hand lightly, then pull away first. You lean in when she talks, then give her space. You never rush the moment. Because you know anticipation is the most powerful form of desire. When she feels like something might happen but doesn't yet, her mind traps itself in the fantasy. The moment you become predictable, the desire dies. But when she feels that slow burn, that almost touch, that almost kiss, that's when obsession begins building on its own. White heavy checkmark layer 5. You're a mystery she wants to earn. Let me tell you something that will flip your entire reality. A woman values what she has to work for, not what she's handed for free. If she figures you out on day 1, she files you away emotionally. Not because you're weak, but because you're done. There's nothing left to discover. But the man with layers, the man who reveals himself slowly, the man who surprises her with depth, ambition, darkness, softness, humor, confidence, edge, that man becomes addictive. Because he stays unpredictable. Not unstable, unpredictable. Not chaotic, intriguing. He becomes the story she can't stop rereading. Here's the shift you need to understand. Desire isn't built through logic. It's built through emotional friction. And the men women obsess over are the ones who can create that friction. Without ever forcing anything. Without disrespect. Without pressure. Without crossing boundaries. They do it with their presence. Their tone. Their mystery. Their inner calm. Their slow confidence. Their silence. Their depth. That combination is what makes a woman think about you when she shouldn't. Crave you when she tries not to. Miss you more than she should. And we're just getting started. Because the next part, the final shift, is the real truth that turns a woman's desire into full-blown obsession. What you're about to hear is the part that no one ever says out loud. Because this is where desire crosses the line into obsession. Not the cute kind. Not the romantic kind. The kind that keeps her awake at night wondering, why can't I stop thinking about him? And it starts with a truth that most men deny until it's too late. A woman becomes obsessed with the man whose presence she can feel even when he's not there. Not the man who texts constantly. Not the man who tries too hard. Not the man who checks in every hour like a nervous heartbeat. It's the man who gives her something far more powerful. Mental presence, with physical distance. See, desire doesn't live in closeness. Desire lives in the space between you. The space where her imagination takes over. Where she rewrites the moment. Where she fills in the blanks with fantasies she'll never confess. And here's where everything switches. Most men smother the space. You learn to leave it open on purpose. Because in that space, her mind becomes the storyteller. And she always writes a version of you far more irresistible than anything you could force. This is why the men who try the hardest lose the fastest. Constant attention kills imagination. Predictability kills tension. Availability kills desire. But the man who is calm, confident, emotionally controlled, and slightly out of reach? He becomes a puzzle her psychology cannot ignore. Let me show you what actually happens inside her mind. White heavy checkmark 1. You disrupt her emotional rhythm. Most men fall into her expectations. Nice, predictable, available, consistent. But you break the pattern. One moment you're intensely present. Your eyes, your voice, your energy pulling her in, and then you're gone. Not ghosting. Not playing games. Just living your life, moving with purpose, showing her you're not orbiting around her. That emotional contrast makes her nervous in a way she secretly craves. She can't predict you. She can't read you. She can't control the outcome. And that loss of control is what makes you addictive. White heavy checkmark 2. You awaken her curiosity, and curiosity is desire's fuel. When a woman feels like she has to earn your attention, a switch flips inside her. She starts studying you, watching your patterns, noticing your tone, wondering what you're thinking, trying to understand why you feel different from every other man. Curiosity turns into fascination. Fascination turns into tension. Tension turns into desire. Desire turns into obsession. It's a ladder, and you climb it by simply refusing to be a man she can completely figure out. White heavy checkmark 3. You become the fantasy she creates when she's alone. Here's a psychological truth no one teaches men. Women get turned on by anticipation, not action. Not by what you did, but by what you could do. You leave moments open. You create pauses. You let things almost happen. You hold eye contact a little too long. You lower your voice at the right moment. You stand close enough for her to feel you, but not close enough to claim her. You make her wonder what it would be like if things escalated, and her mind paints the picture more intensely than reality ever could. That mental loop is where obsession grows. She replays the moment. She imagines different outcomes. She feels the heat that never had a chance to cool. You didn't touch her, but you touched her mind, and that's stronger than any physical move. White heavy checkmark 4. You give her a man with depth, not a man with neediness. Obsession happens when she realizes something rare. You want her, but you don't need her. That's the difference. Needy men chase. Confident men choose. A needy man picks a woman and tries to convince her. A confident man lets her feel chosen, but never owned. You have ambition. You have hobbies. You have discipline. You have a mission. She sees it. She feels it. And she understands that being with you is a privilege, not a rescue plan. That's when she starts investing, trying, chasing, matching your energy, wanting approval from a man who doesn't give it away freely. That's where obsession locks in. White heavy checkmark 5. You make her body respond before her mind approves. There's a moment women never admit. When a man's presence hits them so hard, their body reacts before their logic catches up. A slight breath shift, a long blink, a quiet swallow, a smile she tries to hide, a pause before answering. Those are the signs you've reached the deeper layer of attraction, the instinctive one, the place where desire is not a choice anymore. It's a reaction. And here's the twist. You didn't manipulate her. You didn't force anything. You didn't pretend to be someone else. You simply stepped into your real masculine energy, The one that society tried to silence in you. Not toxic. Not aggressive. Not disrespectful. Just grounded. Confident. Present. Controlled. Unattached. Mysterious. A man who knows he's desirable, without needing her to confirm it. That's the energy women obsess over. That's the energy they crave late at night. That's the energy they fantasize about but rarely experience in real life. White heavy checkmark, and here's the final truth. A woman doesn't obsess over you because you chase her. She obsesses because she can feel you, even in your silence. When your presence lingers. When your confidence shakes her expectations. When your energy stays with her long after you walk away. That's when she spirals. That's when she wonders. That's when she falls. Not for your looks. Not for your compliments. Not for your effort. But for the emotional storm you awaken inside her. The man who understands this doesn't compete. Doesn't beg. Doesn't perform. He simply becomes the version of himself that women cannot ignore. And once you master this, you won't be asking how to make a woman obsess over you. You'll be choosing which woman gets the privilege.